This is Adam Taxin, and with me now is Joe Rooney, the Delta Airlines pilot and Marine who is challenging incumbent far-left Democrat Allyson Schwartz in the race for U.S. Congress in Pennsylvania's 13th Congressional District in Montgomery County in Northeast Philly. Joe, thanks for getting back to me. I just want to quickly follow up with you on something we didn't cover when you were on the High 95 radio hour 2 days ago. As you know, the Democratic Party is trotting out your opponent, Allyson Schwartz, as well as the lovely Debbie Wasserman Schultz, to Love Park in Center City, Philadelphia, later this afternoon to bring attention to the GOP's war on women. What do you think of this shameless publicity stunt?
Adam, thank you very much for taking a few minutes. As I'm walking the district and talking with my neighbors, I learned that Democrats have real vulnerability on the state of the economy, unemployment, and fuel prices. This nonsense today at Love Park, it's little more than boilerplate focus group test distractions. They're trying to deflect our attention from our $4 a gallon gas that we're pumping into our cars and vans each day.
Well, what do you think the real issues are?
That's great, Adam. As I walk around every day, in these trying times, we have to stay focused on the economy, on unemployment, on fuel prices, and our debt. Where our national debt is $15 trillion, we have $1.5 trillion of annual deficits, and 10% unemployment. And I'd like to keep in mind that unemployment number in Philadelphia is much higher for black men and women, in fact, all minorities.
Well, what do you also think of Schwartz's implication that being against Obamacare is being against women?
Yeah, I'll use the term nonsense a couple of times. What I find as I'm walking around is that Obamacare is, in fact, very unpopular. The more people learn about this bill, the waivers to big corporations and unions, $2 trillion costs, which are 50% over the projected costs, the government intrusion into the free practice of religion, the less people like it. Everyone understands that price controls, wage controls, and rationing are no way to run the best world health system that we have.
Is being against the Obama foreign policy being against actually pro-Israel women, as Schwartz and Schultz claim to be, as if we shouldn't question their support for Obama's Middle East policy because, after all, the two of them are of Jewish descent and therefore they must be totally pro-Israel?
You know, today, Adam, if you read the news, rockets are being launched from the Sinai, which is on Egyptian territory, into southern Israel. This is a real shooting war against real Israeli men and women, our allies. And I would guess that neither Schultz nor Schwartz will speak out against this attack while at Love Park today.
Of course not. Well, does that so-called war on women, and I'm really getting sick of using that term, as I'm sure you are getting sick of hearing it, does that war on women that Schwartz and Schultz accuse you and everyone else in the GOP of, does that go beyond your political life into your personal life? And obviously I'm being sarcastic there.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce you to some of the GOP women that I know. My wife, Beth, is been with me. We've been married for 26 years. She's a retired Navy commander, a Navy pilot, a test pilot. She's got a master's degree in aero engineering and taught at the Naval Academy. My wife has 5 kids. She's homeschooled. We've done an incredible number of things today. And I'll tell you, I'm lucky to have a woman like that. My daughter, Sierra, is a Naval Academy graduate, proudly serving in the Navy right now and about to go on a deployment for 6 months to the Indian Ocean on the USS Clackering. Those are the women who are actually at war fighting for America. Men, women, children, all of us.
I got to ask again, maybe a little tongue-in-cheek here, what do you think of the choice of Debbie Wasserman Schultz to accompany Allyson Schwartz, your opponent, today?
Yeah, that's a funny question. I don't believe that Congresswoman Schultz is a big seller in Norristown, Roslyn, and Mayfair. I personally am happy to see Allyson Schwartz appearing with her, and I hope maybe her next appearance is with Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters next to the Family Monument in Conshohocken.
Any final thoughts, Joe?
Sure. Thank you for your time. I want to offer this to my friends and neighbors in Northeast Philly and Montgomery County. If you want leadership that will focus like a laser on the real pressing issues of today, which are jobs, economic growth, debt reduction, and fuel prices, then I'm your candidate. I'm asking for your support in November. Please visit my website at joerooneyforcongress.com.
Thanks for talking with me today.